Howdy, I'm Star. Welcome to this quick animation tutorial. Today we are going to just animate a tree. Yes, I know, very complex, very difficult. No. It's absolutely like the simplest way to animate a tree in Rec Room, and it's definitely a kind of like a beginner's kind of step up. I'm hoping to do more of these that get progressively much more harder, not only to teach, I guess, the viewer, but myself. I'm not very good with the UGC tools that Rec Room has yet. So I'm hoping I can also learn a thing or two. And you too. So let's get to it. So I would say first step to animating a tree is to have a tree in place. So we're gonna do that real quick. Now, I'm drawing mine with tubes, but you feel free to use cubes, spheres, whatever you need to do to get to a tree. And I am going to lay down a couple of key notes before you make the tree. So first step is to make sure that every shape is separate. And let me explain what I mean by that. So I'm gonna create the trunk here. That's my trunk. I'm going to click done editing. So this is its own shape. And I'm going to keep making shapes separate. The reason for this is that you want to be able to animate every piece separately, because if they're all one shape, the animation gizmo treats it as such, so you have to move the entire thing, but you don't want to do that, because in this case we're going to be animating just the leaves, or so I'm gonna keep going here. So this is our tree essentially. Scale it up a bit. Configure it so that it is decoration only. So this is our tree. As you can see, it's 3 separate shapes. Every shape is highlights by itself. And now we're gonna go get our animation gizmo. The animation gizmo can be found in gadgets, gizmos, and it's the very first one. So what do we need to do to get this tree to animate just the leaves, for example? You have to wire it to the animation gizmo first. So to do that, you go to the menu, click wire, and you're gonna point to every point you want connected. So we're gonna click this one and wire it to that. There we go. So now we have all 3 parts of what make up the leaves in this case of this tree. Alrighty, now to start animating the leaves, we're going to click edit and select the animation gizmo. And next time you pop your makeup pen up, it shows up with this keyframe editor of sorts. So in order to start animating our tree, we have to add another keyframe. Right now, as you can see, we're just at the default 0.0 keyframe. So we're gonna click the add button. So we now have another keyframe. This is essentially like the second part of your animation. So we are going to move it just ever so slightly in one direction by selecting the various shapes here. Hold on, undo move object. You have to be careful which one you're selecting, because as you can see, it's kind of tricky to select tubes in this case. Let's see what happens when we click play. Yes, so the entire thing is moving. That is because we selected every shape and we moved them ever so slightly on the first after we added a keyframe. Alrighty, now that we have our tree animated, all we have to do now is click configure, click this button right here, and change it to 1. But you see that it kind of snaps back pretty awkwardly, and that's because the animation gizmo is set to reset from the first frame. So it finishes that keyframe, but then it resets back, and it doesn't look very natural. So what we have to do is set it to ping pong. And now it's more of a smooth animation of sorts. So this tree is kind of replicating kind of like how the leaves would be moving in a windy day, for example. And very easily, you can also set the speed. So say set it to 50% of it 100. And it's a bit more natural, a bit slower. And like you can duplicate this whole system and wire it to say 100 trees and essentially achieve like just a nice, like, say a field of trees just with the leaves blowing. You can do a lot with this animation tool. Anyways, thank you for watching just this quick tutorial on just animating even the simplest thing like a tree. Hoping to do more of these. Yeah. Alrighty, thanks.